All right, today is October the 25th, 2015, and we're watching the Northeast Pacific Water Vapor Loop. And yesterday we were talking about this moisture field that was streaming right into California from Olaf here, which has been disrupted by a high pressure zone that has been installed here overnight. This dark area here, this is all hot air, high pressure, and also throughout this entire moisture field right here, there's also high pressure, and that shows up on the surface level pressure maps, but it doesn't show up. This high pressure here does not show up on the 500 or the 300 millibar chart, but an attempt nonetheless is being made to block this front. This is a hurricane force uh, storm right here, very strong storm. I think it's like 952 millibar core pressure right here. And then we have Olaf, which this high pressure here is going to run this out probably over Baja, looking at the way the jet stream, or rather this tail flow is moving. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at some of these other maps. This is the infrared map, and we don't see the detail here with the high pressure game they're playing. We don't see that blockage as well here, but we do see the intensity of Olaf, which is being hit with some heat. Some of the other maps we'll look at, we get to see they are hitting this storm, and in fact, we can see a little bit of a blast pattern right there on the western side of Olaf. So they are just gradually weakening that storm. Let's go ahead and look at the National Hurricane Center information. And Olaf right now has sustained winds of 90 miles per hour, and is moving north-northeast at 13 miles per hour with a minimum core pressure of 974 millibar. So this storm is still a hellraiser. It can cause some damage, and it is affecting the decision making of what's happening here on the Eastern Pacific. So in preparation for that, uh, they've built this out with high pressure. We can see this will be filled out probably later tonight with all dry air. So this will probably run along this direction and out through uh, maybe over Baja. They're not going to let it get into California. I'll bet some money on that. In the meantime, we've got a big front here that is probably going to ride over the top of this high pressure that's being installed. And we'll have to wait and see what happens because the pressure charts at 500 and 300 millibar don't uh, show any high pressure in this area. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at some of these other maps. This is the western U.S. water vapor. We can get a close-up of this high pressure wall that was built in. Now, we should have had rain yesterday and today. We had a lot of chemtrails. Today, same thing, a lot of chemtrails. Um, the humidity today was 20%, if you can believe that. This huge moisture field is moving over Southern California. We have 20% humidity. So that gives you an idea of what these chemtrails do and what they've been doing. They've been stopping the rain and modifying the weather. So there's a lot of moisture in this entire system right here, this front, but none of it generated any rain. Okay, so this is just amazing stuff. Why they wouldn't let that drop some rain? Okay, here's the surface pressure analysis, rather the surface analysis chart. Here we have this large system that we were just looking at, 952 millibar, has hurricane force winds, and we have a warm front merging with the cold front. That's the HARP transmitter that is applying heat to the core. And we have this large cold front right here. Okay, and then we have high pressure indicated here on the surface. And here is Olaf moving right towards the west coast, California. All right, so this is a very large system right here, and we can see right here with that purple. Let's go back to the Let's go back to the big map here, and we can see this is that warm front. They call it a warm front. This is nothing more than heat being designated on the chart because they're winding heat into this thing to kill it off, to weaken it. This is a hurricane force system, 952 millibar. That's pretty strong. So if that came on shore, we get a whole lot of rain. So they're making provisions to block all this. All right. Now here is the East Pacific water vapor loop. We can see Olaf right here, and Olaf is being hit. We can get a pretty good view right there of what's happening. There's a blast pattern all the way around that one edge. Look at that, and a shock wave. And look at all of this. Look at all of these ribs here. That's a blast pattern right there. A concussion pattern that you see when you have a blast right there. I hope you can all see that. There's actually two rings right there and there. They are hitting it. Okay, let's go look at this in the infrared loop. You can see the color change after they hit it. That core is still very intense. And we don't see a whole lot of diminishment here, just a little bit. Let's go back again and look at the water vapor loop. Yeah, there's no question they're hitting that with microwave. It's heating the core, and we're getting a blast pattern all the way around. They're just doing it very carefully, but in the water vapor loop, it shows up pretty well. Okay, let's also, there's a 10% chance of hurricane formation. There was a disturbance somewhere down here. I think it was right here. And they blew this apart. I think this is it right here. Let's go back to the Hurricane Center map once again and go back to the main page. Yeah, right here, there is a disturbance identified, and that is basically due south of LA, more or less. Let's go back now and look at the yeah. Earlier today, there was a very intense thunderstorm cell. It looks similar to this, a lot smaller, but this is what's left of it. They blew it apart, and we can actually see the remnants of that blast right here, and we can see the color change. So this is the very tail end of that event right here. That was a kind of a solid red storm cell that was forecast to become a hurricane, and they took care of that. And there is the evidence of that. We can see a kind of a icicle pattern along this edge. All right. Okay, now in this view, this is the infrared loop. We get a pretty good idea. There's a ring right here moving out radially from the core of that former thunderstorm cell right here. All right. Okay, so let's go on to the, this is the geostationary satellite image. And we're watching, this is a very large storm, 952 millibar hurricane force winds. This is a much bigger storm, and this has much more of an effect, over the ocean than a hurricane. The arm of this thing extends down quite a long ways. But look at all the chemtrail spraying going on right here. So it looks like California is in for at least another 2 or 3 days of this chemtrail spraying. That's my forecast. We're going to see chemtrailing all the way probably through, I would say Tuesday or Wednesday. Right? So that's pretty much the situation. Let's go look at the surface pressure, sea level pressure map right here. And they show a high. There's a high indicated all through here off of California. What else is new? And then we have this Hurricane Olaf right here. And then this is the hurricane force storm up here with a 952 millibar core. So this has some far-reaching implications. There's low pressure all through here. All right. Now let's look at the there's the 500 millibar. And they don't show any high pressure here, only on the sea level pressure. There is some here, right here. Maybe it's going to continue to build in. We'll have to wait and see. It's mainly up here. High pressure right here, but not down here where they indicated at sea level. So another high right here. That's going to steer this hurricane right here. So they've got this all engineered now. This is interesting. I just noticed this high right here. That will guide this thing right through, right over Baja and out, probably over Texas. That's kind of what I'm thinking now. Okay, let's look at the 300 millibar. This is that high right here. And we can see the pressure gradient here from this storm. It's rather impressive. Okay, so that's pretty much it for today. If anything comes up, we'll do another update. But other than that, we'll do another one tomorrow. That's it.